Who doesn't love a biscuit? Buttermilk is a key ingredient to achieve goodness in this next recipe, with a baker who carries on a mighty strong cooking legacy passed down from her legendary grandmothers.
My name is Erika Council, and I'm originally from North Carolina, but I live now in Atlanta, Georgia. I came here for work. I didn't know a lot of people, but I always cooked Sunday dinner. You know, you went to church, and then after church, you had dinner. But I always had biscuits. They were always sort of the highlight. My maternal grandmother, Geraldine or Deanie, she was very much church and civil rights. Today is the day we're all gonna break bread. You know, this is the day the Lord has made. Mildred Council, Mama Dip, was my paternal grandmother. She's my father's mother, and she owned a restaurant in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. She was a phenomenal human, not just in her community, but in her family. I mean, she sort of built the foundation for us all. There was always a basket of bread, and those are the things like I remember. It's just like every memory of sort of the African American women in my life, there's some type of bread that's attributed to them.
So the reason that I invited myself over today, and you so graciously agreed, is I make biscuits, but you make biscuits. Don't you make like, what, 1,000 or 1,500 a week?
Yeah, we do. So we have a biscuit box delivery service. It's always a half a dozen to a dozen biscuits. We're making about 1,000 a week.
Let's make some biscuits together and see what I can pick up here.
Yeah, well, I'll see what I can pick up from you.
Well, we'll see. We'll take our chances and see what happens. I'm a stickler, and I bet you are too. You have to use real buttermilk. You can't be curdling milk. It's just not the same thing.
If you don't have buttermilk, you know, just use regular whole milk. This is an all-purpose flour. It's got about 11% protein.
It also means we can roll in it, because a lot of people, when they're learning to make biscuits, maybe they're choosing to use self-rising because that's what their mama used or what they learned, and you can't roll dough in self-rising flour.
So in here we have salt, baking powder, and baking soda. And so we're adding baking soda because if you want that nice fluffy interior texture, what people consider a buttermilk biscuit to have, definitely need that baking soda to hit that acid in that buttermilk to give you that soft and that high-rising buttermilk biscuits. When I put the other dry ingredients in there, I like to whisk them in. You know, make sure it's all kind of broken in together. And
right, because you don't want one biscuit to have all the leavening, because then you've got no good biscuits.
You got no good biscuits. All right, so now we're gonna add in the fats. And so we've got a combination of unsalted butter here and some regular Crisco shortening.
Now I'm looking, I'm just, you know, without even asking you,
yeah,
you know, I'm here for a lesson. We're doing the same thing, we're both rubbing.
We're both rubbing the snapping motion, yeah.
Exactly. A lot of times people will say till the size of peas, it's flakes.
It's flakes, it is. And now we're gonna add in our buttermilk. Whatever liquid you're using, you want to get to know that flour and say how much hydration does this take.
Now I'm going to do whatever you do.
Trying to make it so
if you tell me we're going to stop and do a jig, I'm in on it. Whatever you say to do,
we'll wait till the end to do that. So we're pouring about half of this, as you said, and then I just sort of toss it. I use this spatula to toss it.
Okay, I'm going to put a little more drizzle in here. Toss.
As you see, I didn't use all of the buttermilk,
right?
But that's good because we're going to use it for something else to tops. So you roll the dough onto the surface. I just kind of pat it out, so I just roll it out, and then I take the same bench and then
and about into thirds, like an
envelope.
Yep.
And then we're going to roll it out one last time. I leave it a little thick. If you want that big thick biscuit, you gotta give some. You gotta have some.
We're not making pie crust, we're making biscuits.
Yeah. But with the buttermilk, when you get the shiny tops, and so it just sort of brush these on the top to give it that sort of shiny.
I love that you brush with buttermilk because I have always used melted butter. I'm gonna learn.
It almost gives you sort of that nice browning, almost like an egg wash. And so we will bake these just like this.
Hot oven? What
hot oven, 450.
Okay. I like our biscuit buffet here.
Yeah, biscuit buffet.
There's several things going on. You got that crunchy outside, then you got that totally tender middle. You got the mid-ground. Thanks for letting me be in your house and your kitchen and for teaching me the finer points of biscuits and then for us to get to sample our wares.
Yes, and thanks for all that you do for Southern Foodways.
I'm glad we're friends.
Me too.